And we can have this session recorded after the meeting. We are now 29 persons in the session. I hope the numbers keep growing. I start talking. My name is Carlos Esteves. I am one of the Global Research Analytics consultants, as you can see on the slide. Please let me know. Let me see if you can make some kind of reactions about this. No, but I turn on the chat. So please, if you have any question or are you having problems with the sound or something, please let me know. I have some can't raise it or something. No. Okay. So I'm going to start our session today. I'm going to try to see the chat sometimes to see if there's some questions. And we're going to talk about these use cases, latest enhancements, and what is going to happen with SciVal next. I'm part of a team of global research analytics that works on these kind of topics. And then we're going to have at least 2 sessions from Asia to Asia Pacific. The other ones are going to be later for other regions. Let me change my slide. Okay. So we're going to talk about, make a little recap of the basics of SciVal, some use cases, recent enhancements, and how are we going to, what are the things that are coming next in SciVal, and then I hope we're going to have some time for questions and answers. So this is the this is like the flyer where you can see which are gonna be the sessions. Today we are going to talk about this topic, how we can maximize SciVal, some use cases and enhancements on the road ahead. Let's go. The first thing I have to tell is that we are on our 10th birthday on SciVal. So here you're seeing the part of the development team on SciVal. These are the guys that provide us this fantastic tool. So there are some activities related to SciVal to this birthday on SciVal. And let's start. What is SciVal? What is this tool about? SciVal is a web-based analytics solution, so you don't have to install anything. The use of the solution is just to access it by the URL scival.com, or if you are on the campus of your institution. But if you are outside the campus, you can access it by the library. Usually is the library that provides a kind of remote access. So if you are not on your campus and you can find the access, please contact your librarians for knowing how to find the access to this tool. And then I have to tell you that SciVal is like a personal interface. So you're gonna need to make some kind of login to create an account and login into the solution, so you can start working with it. It's not it's not the same as in Scopus or in Mendeley, that you can start working on the solutions without making a login, a proper login. In SciVal, you're gonna need it because the entities and the space work is personal, and for that you need to be logged. SciVal offers a bunch of tools and metrics that the idea is to help us in researchers and organizations and funding bodies to assess the research performance, try to track the trends, identify the collaboration, the opportunities, and also to find or to start understanding the impact of this research that we have made. Um, the main idea is that you're going to have information that comes from the data that give you the proper evidence to create the strategies that make you advance in the excellence of your own research and your institutional researchers. SciVal is as I told, is a web-based solution that have give us different perspectives. We can use a variety of entities. I'm going to talk about that later. And we have in SciVal various data sets. The main one is Scopus, that is the bibliographic source. Scopus is an index that collects the metadata of the publications, of the research publications, of the peer-reviewed publications. So you're not going to have full text on Scopus, just the metadata. And we collected the metadata from Scopus to SciVal to make all these beautiful and meaningful reports and analysis that we can have on it. Also, we have since this year funding data. We collect them several years ago related to the research topics, but with the patents this year we expand our data set from the five main patent offices, to 105 patent offices, almost all the world, and we collect the citations from that patents from the number of offices that provide that information. Also, we make an agreement with Overton that give us the information related to the public policies and clinical policies that you're going to have on the solution. And we are working with NewsFlow into improve the way we can see the information and the citations related to media, to communications. SciVal answers or give us insights for all of these problems that we collect from the some surveys that we made with the research people all over the world. And SciVal use some technologies, many of them related to the previous name artificial intelligence, machine learning algorithms, mainly, like, for example, natural language processing, the normal natural language processing, or we use another kind of algorithms, and I'm not going to extend on it, to perform the analysis that we are going to see on the solution, or to give us some meaningful data sets that we can use on it. So these are the enabled technologies, and we have like 114 different metrics, research metrics that we can use to track the assessment. All of these in several sets of analysis that we can reach on the platform, on the interface from the left-handed menu. You can get on all of these analyses. SciVal also uh, give us some like the main use cases. For example, the research evaluation, as you can see in the slide. We can have also information for understand the collaboration and see how can we exploit this data to perform better publications and also help us on find the funding finding, and also on the finding of co-researchers on new expand our social network to find new institutions and researchers to work with. As I told, funding is also an issue on SciVal. So we're gonna see regarding the topics, the research topics, how these topics have been funding historically. And with this information, maybe we can start to construct, to design funding strategies, better funding strategies for our institution and so on for ourselves. Also, we can see the analysis of portfolios, seeing the capabilities of the institutions, our institutions, and other institutions. Uh, and with this portfolio analysis, we can make benchmarkings, meaningful benchmarkings, so we can also extract or infer best practices and improve our growth on these matters. Of course, we have the researchers' profiles, so we can see the performance of the researchers, and then we can identify the better, the best people to create or to make our research groups better. Let me see if I'm having some questions on the chat. If you have any question at this moment, at this point of the presentation, or you want to say something, please use the chat to make your requests or your questions. And the last but not the less important thing is to track the impact of our research. And it's not the impact as the impact factor, a metric of a rate between citations and documents. This is the broadest understanding of the impact, of the research impact. So we wanted to see this in detail, but this is another topic really important now for the institutions that make research. Okay, so then move these windows. So for the research performance evaluation, we can see in SciVal the productivity and the productivity growth. How? With for example, these performance metrics, like the number of documents published by the scholarly output, so we can understand how many documents have we published or any institutions, and also the amount of them in open access. If your institutions have a policy or a specific interest on open access, you can track it here also. The number of authors, metrics as the H index or the field-weighted citation impact, citations per publications, and that. And also the differential performance for each of the all science classification journals categories. About the academic impact, we can see these kind of metrics that I was telling, the field weighted, another kind of metric like the collaboration, the citation count, that let us see the mm, different facets of the impact of, or what we call impact, but almost the performance of our research. And also we can track the research excellence, the outputs in the top percentiles journals or citations. Let us understand where are we publishing and how we are related with the better journals to put our publications so they can have the best visibility that they can have. And this make us increase the probability to be cited and to be seen, our research. So this is really important thing. In engagement, this is an important indicator to see the performance, because with this we can uh, see the funding potential. The relationship between the impact and the funding is tight. So with indicators as the topic prominence, we can see research topics that can be more affordable for international funding finding. We know that there is a correlation of 30%, positive 30% of the topic of prominence on the highest 10 percentile to be founded. And the collaboration also is an important indicator, because we know that the amount of the international collaboration also is helping on the performance of our publications to be spreaded and funded by people all over the world. About the impact, as I told, there is mm, some proxies that we can have to reach the impact of the institution or an entity. One of it is the count of citations and the count of patents related to our research, how the mass media have been citing our research, and also the policies that cite our research. So these are the three kind of metrics. Well, yes, there are kind of metrics, because there are several metrics associated with patents, with media, and with policies that you are going to have in SciVal, and these are going to be proxies to understand the broader impact, the societal impact that we can find related to our research. And the most important thing, I think, is the possibility to make some kind of benchmarking. So track and compare different institutions from the pool of all the metrics that we can have in SciVal. Let us understand, for example, trends, if there's some, or corroborate or not some hypotheses that we can have from the relationship between different metrics. You can have this scatter plot that, of course, only we can only have three different metrics here, two from the for the axis and one for the size of the bubble. But in the table mode, we can have plenty of metrics that we can use to create different reports. We can save this collection of metrics and share it also with our community. So when we need to create a report, a new report, we can use these metrics. Yes, Catherine, the idea is to share the slides after the webinar. Uh, I am at this moment, I'm not pretty sure how we are going to provide the link, but yes, we're going to share the slides after the one. And also, I think that the video is going to be available, so you can come back to the video also. Okay, we can understand the geographical collaboration patterns, mainly seeing the international, national, institutional, and non-collaboration, but also we can have different metrics regarding to this collaboration, like for example, the field-weighted citation impact. For the ones that are not related with the field-weighted citation impact, this is a really important metric because it let us compare pairs with apples, because it normalizes some dimensions like the type of documents, like the age of the document, and also the research area. So we can compare, for example, uh, 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 institutions or publication sets from law or from history with others with or physics or medicine, that in other conditions are very difficult to compare because the citation rates are different from between areas and kind of documents. Um, Also, we can evaluate our collaborators. We are going to have in SciVal, you're going to have a geographic, specific geographic tagging of the institutions. So these are really the truthful coordinates, geographical coordinates of the institution. So if the point is in some place, you can have the confidence that the institution is specifically located there. And we can understand our collaboration between any of the institutions we collaborate with, and clicking on the name of the institution, you're gonna see different kinds of collaborations, how the different kinds of collaboration uh, uh, make us increase or not on other indicators like the normalized citation impact. And also we can benchmark the institutions, as I told before, and see the tracking and an animated track of how this performance of each of the institutions was made, and also understand the potential collaboration. So the people that we have not collaborated with inside a specific institution. And the field of research, the flexibility on defining the field of research is one of the, I think, one of the most powerful features on SciVal. So first of all, the fields are complex and diverse, and we can define it in several ways. Okay, Uh, d- Depends on the strategy that we want to apply. For example, we can relate to national or international priorities, like for example, to apply for grants or to government keys and technology areas, or even sustainable development goals. And we can make some analysis that let us understand how our institution is related to the world. This is this. You know that the SGs are completely biased. So there are some SGs with huge amount of documents. Meanwhile, another ones just have uh, reduced number of documents. And this chart let us understand the relative participation of all the SGDs because we normalize by the volume of the publications on each of them. So here we can really see how much is providing each of the SGDs to the total amount of publications we collect from the institution and the entities in general. Okay. Um, Here I have another. Uh, Currently, you can only view an individual researcher's SGD impact via publication set. Will SciVal incorporate SGDs into a researcher's overview metrics in the future? You you can view an individual researcher's SGD impact via publication set. Will SciVal incorporate SGDs into a researcher's overview metrics? We have the SGDs, but not in SciVal. You can see the performance of the SGDs of each of the researchers on the profiles and the institutions in SciVal. But if you want to see like the labels, you can see it in Scopus. This tagging that we make in SciVal is the one that you're gonna see on the Scopus profile of the authors in Scopus. So and also is taken from Pure to give a kind of information of the SGs that each of the researchers are working on. But in Pure, there's another source to improve the the number or the classification of the SGs regarding your publications because you know in Pure, Scopus is not the only source of information you can collect from any source. So the numbers could be different. But yes, we have this on the profiles on SciVal and also on Scopus. Um, we can have in SciVal, or we can have no, we have predefined research fields uh, like the topics. We have 94 thousand hundreds of topics, and we also have different research areas that you can collect from this part of the menu. And for example, search over SGDs for any of the entities, researchers, or institutions. And also, there are some research fields that you can define. So you can create publication sets. These publication sets can came to SciVal from Scopus. So you make an advanced query in Scopus, and you're going to have a set of documents. You can export that to SciVal and create a publication set. Or, for example, for an institution, you can filter, for example, the green open access documents, and with that you can create a publication set. So then you can benchmark, for example, all the kinds of publishing models you want to make this kind of analysis. Uh, there are many fields that we can explore. And this is a very interesting part of this presentation. I'm not going to go in detail into the into the into the cases, but you're going to be able to do that when you get the slides, so you can click on them. We can identify areas of this of, of, of capabilities, I could say, distinction or strength. For example, with the topics, we can filter the topics over the highest percentiles, and then you can check which of the topics are you working on, and also how is the performance between your institution, and compare that with the world. So you can see how is the research of your institution working, or your own research working on. Define this granular way to understand the research that are the research topics, or even the clusters of topics. So as you can see, we have topics, and we have 1,500 almost a cluster of topics to make it easy to understand. Also, we can use this scatter plot view to evaluate the momentum of the topics and the topic clusters. So we can see how some of the topics that we have are related to several metrics. For example, here is the scholarly output at the institution against the prominence percentile. Remember that the topics over the 90%, so these topics here, have more chance to find international funding than the ones that are below the 10th upper percentile. So this is a measure that also can help you on making strategies. Yields. Currently, you can only view an individual node. Let me see the question. SGs are listed in overview for an individual researcher in SciVal, only institutions. We can see that. We can see that. But thanks, Jules. Let me make a double check. Now you make me double. And thanks for that question. Be sure I'm gonna check it. We can identify the areas of distinction and strength. So this is the activity of an institution regarding a specific research topic. So you can understand the performance and all the performance metrics. Also, the key phrases that the institution works on this specific topic, and the collaboration. So this gives us a first sight of what is happening on this topic over the institution. And also we can understand the topic by seeing the performance, the research areas, and also the key phrases that we can see as a word cloud, where you can understand which are the topics, let's say, that have more frequency uh, on the texts, on the keywords. And remember that this cloud is not doesn't use the keywords that the researchers put or the authors put on the papers. These are words that are controlled by a thesaurus. So we want to drop down the silos and the difficulty that we have to understand specific technical terms and put it in a way that most of the people can understand it. So this is the value of this kind of graphic. Um, Also, we can understand, as I told before, for a specific topic, how the money has been given over the time. So we can understand uh, how fundable could be a topic. Also, the institutions that won the grants, the funder institutions, the dynamics at national level or at funder level or the institutional level. So this is really good information to start creating some strategies for funding. And of course, we can identify experts in different fields. Uh, we can explore the field worldwide to find several uh, uh, authors. And now we have a new feature that if you make a search on a specific topic, here, as you can see, we're going to have the definition of the topic uh, uh, generated by an artificial intelligence model. So it takes the abstracts of the papers on the topic that are part of the topic and create a meaningful definition that everybody can understand it. But below that, you're going to see um, a graph of the confidence of the documents in a graphic of several circles. And then you can find the main uh, documents of that topic. So you can actually find the proper experts on the matter. And we can understand these dynamics of researchers that are always meaningful if you want to find referees, if you want to find co-researchers. This is a useful information for us. We can also model group of experts. So if we have a collection of names, we can analyze it one by one, or we can create a group of them. So we can select several of them and create a group. And then we can start modeling, for example, laboratories, departments, mm, faculties, schools, or by just by uh, topics. See which are the teams that we can create, analyze the capabilities of the teams, and use that information to write better proposals, research proposals, and funding proposals that showcase easily what why this group that we create should have the funding. Okay. Also, we can use that information in a responsible way to make promotion of candidates for several positions or to hire different new researchers to our institution. Um, okay, as I told before, we can incorporate insights to see the impact uh, to make some decisions. So we can have a list of researchers and we can have a set of metrics, for example, for promotion. We can create a set of metrics, even more metrics we can provide to the set, and then we can compare from all these metrics to have a proper evaluation of assessment of the teams and the people. Um, and also start looking at with researchers, for example, with the strong parent metrics, could be a better team for innovation, for example. uh, or with stronger citations on policies, and start understanding better the roles of our people at the institution on the different kind of impacts or roles that they could achieve. There are some cases that I want to show to you. For example, this is the Chang'an University, and they are using SciVal. Sorry, where is my pointer? To discover competitiveness from different subject areas and start developing strategies to enhance this competitiveness from SciVal data. The main idea is to boost the international collaboration, facilitating the professors uh, to find to who can they collaborate with. So this is a strategy and a specific use case that we document about how to use SciVal in a real institution to make this kind of analysis. And we have several SciVal case studies. For example, Arthur's University that use SciVal for funding submissions. This is how you can use the APIs to fill your information systems for institutional assessment. This case of the University of Surrey uh, is to see how the collaboration helps to find funding also. The Arizona State University uh, are creating new teams using the SciVal topics and the prominence topics. Uh, of course, how to benchmark the academic and corporate collaborations regarding the SGDs, and there are several cases. So I'm not going to get deep into these ones. As I told you, you're gonna have the chance to make clicks on the cases when you have the slides, so you can go deeper into the cases. I want to now to show you what is going as new features in SciVal. So the first thing, for the ones that have been using SciVal for a while, this year we changed our navigation from models to from several models, overview, collaboration, trends, grants, etc., to two main areas: explore and compare. So the idea is to make easily the navigation on the interface, and I feel that I have to tell you that when I see that the first time was really shocking for me. But now that I have been working with the new interface, it's super easy now to navigate SciVal. Before was a kind of nightmare. So we have my music again. Okay, here is it. We have the entity list. You know that we have several entities, institutions, document sets, uh, countries or regions, research areas, research topics, sources, such as journals, funding bodies. So we have several kinds of entities, and then you can find each of the categories here. But also we change and improve our search box. So you can start putting the text of any that you want, and you're gonna have an autocomplete menu, so you can choose from a list that provides SciVal which are the entities that you want to work with. In the we have shortcuts to define the entities or back to the home institution. So here is the button to define an entity. For example, we can explore single entities in the, we can understand or analyze single entities on the Explorer. And in this menu, we can find all the analysis with some grouped by, clustered by some uh, specific topics like bibliometrics, contribution, and then you click on the analysis and you're going to have it in an easy way than before. And of course, you can compare different institutions in this menu, benchmarking with all the possibility of metrics or using the ranking metrics if the institutional rankings are something that you care specifically. Also, we can understand the grant matrix and the collaboration metrics from several entities. We also have a next generation, what as we call the next generation SciVal topics, that was published in the May of this year. So we have a more accurate set of publications. We are measuring out the strength of the linkage of the publications. We improve the topic names using the Omniscience thesaurus, as I told. We are more granular for large topics. We have topic summaries with generative AI. So as I told you, before we have just like 3 keywords defining the topics, but was very difficult to understand what that means. Now we are making an experiment to generate some meaningful text using generative AI for each of the topics, so we can understand easily and better what is the meaning of the document that we have there on that research topics. And in this year, in June, we recalculate the topics and there then appears 70 total new topics on the classification. And in June, we publish the centrality of each of the topics. So you can see the more central documents just clicking on them, and we have 3 layers of let's say confidence or centrality of the documents on the topics. Now we have emerging topics, the definition, and the centrality, as I told you. Here we have the top percentiles of the topics, so you can filter regarding this. This gives some kind of value to the topics. And then we can have, we're having the definition of each of the topics, as I told you. So, for example, this is Hadron-Lepton standard model, the topological number of the topic, the number of publications, which are the we are collecting, and then we have this beautiful summary, really meaningful, and using language that I think that most of the people can understand it. So this helps us a lot. We have also the publication centrality, and the publication centrality give us levels of confidence or relations between the publication share. So we have the most definitive documents and the number of that documents, very good, defensible, weak, and other kinds. So we can click on that and understand which are the documents that we have here. Um, we are serving also another kind of information that we are trying to collect and use for the institutions. We know that the assessment is a is an issue that most of the institutions want to have in a better way. So we are creating a research evaluation framework. We are evolving that framework to collect the proper metrics that give evidence of all these categories, and also use this tool to give us insights for a better research performance evaluation, and to see how we can afford different sources of funding to improve our research. Also, as you know, SciVal is the source for some of the uh, global rankings. So this is like a timeline of how the different rankings are related when they start to work with the information that we provide on our databases. So the Times Higher Education World University ranking starts on 2023. Then the impact ranking that is really meaningful for several institutions on developing countries. And you can see the dates of other different rankings. And now, this year, we saw the U.S. News ranking um, to the to the number of rankings that are using the information on SciVal to make their own scores. Um, there are some issues that we published this year, like the policies that came out on the on the third quarter of 2022, the patents on this quarter, but on 2023, and we're gonna publish the media information hopefully on the first half of the next year. This has been really a challenging set of documents. Is what we thought that was gonna be easy, but it's not. So this is a challenge right now for us, and the idea is to start filling on from the framework the metrics that could help you to understand this performance on these dimensions. As I told, but I'm not going to stop very much on this. We want to improve our media data. We have some media information on SciVal, but we want to improve that and have new sets of documents that improves and make more meaningful the information that we have on this model. So these are the metrics, media citations versus media mentions, and we want to improve this. But the citations are is a to collect that information has been a challenge, and we are working on that. But we want to take this feature this year, but has been really a big challenge. So this is why this is going to move to the next half of the year. On content policy, we are only going to use mass media. We are not going to use blogs or social media on that. So this is something that you need to know. Uh, and the idea is to cover all the globe against these metrics. We want to be language agnostics, so not just information in English. So we have several challenges here. I'm not going to stop on this slide because I want to show you. Oh, what happens with the framework? Okay. This is really important because you're going to see more flexible year ranges on the analysis. You see a purple dot on the analysis that have flexible years. This depends on how fast we migrate this analysis to the new computing platform. But this is a step-by-step situation. So when you're gonna see the more purple dots on each of the analysis, and then you're gonna know that these are flexible year range analysis. Multi-select of subject areas in benchmarking and impact. More subject classifications. We want to make flexible content on type selection. We are improving and create larger entities with real-time computation. This making a faster pre-computation, and this means a lot of work on the back end of the product development, and trying to make daily processing through the week. And for the next year, we want to start working with generative AI and SciVal. So we are using and testing the new models, language models at the O1s of ChatGPT to see how this improves and make strong analytics with the data that we have on SciVal. The main idea is to use this data to create narratives of the research, so the interpretation could be easy for anyone. And our initial focus are going to be on creating summaries of topics that we already have it, topic names, guided navigations, and responsible use of metrics. This is really important. Analysis narratives, super beautiful, report narratives, and smart searching. So we want to do that in the next year. Also, publish a rankings metric tracker so you can understand the rankings in a better way, and how these metrics understand the metrics of the performance of the institution, understanding the outputs and how this what it means. So this is almost the thing that I want to share with you. The time is almost done, but I don't want to go without answering some questions. So I'm going to stay a couple of minutes more if you want to stay here and see the questions and answers solved. We have several we have a couple on question and answers, and some on the chat. So let me see. Hi there. Is there any chance you could enlarge your screen, please? Oh, sorry. Sorry for that. I didn't see the request before. And sorry it was so little. Okay, let me go to let me stop sharing. And Then I'm going to skip to SciVal. Also, I'm going to stop the recording.